Hello, orienteering friends. Welcome to the second day of the Bohemia Class B races at Eduard mine. This day it was a short track. I don't remember the numbers and I would have to search for them right now. But anyway, this time I think I managed the race a little bit better. I did one mistake or two mistakes. Yeah, two mistakes. Not too bad, and I was pretty happy after the race. So let's get to the chase. So our race started uphill, which is the most beloved race start for any runner. Obviously, I'm joking. After the first day of the long race, my legs felt pretty tired. Since it was the beginning, I ran, tried to run, let's say. I guess I'm still running, which is strange. I would guess I got exhausted much faster. I will not last long, now I'm probably just walking. Anyway, to the first control, I think this is fairly obvious and fairly easy. Follow the road, or not the road, more like a bigger path. And then when I saw this kind of erosion or a kind of a hill, I knew, or I assumed that the control will be like from behind. It was clearly visible on the map, so I think I executed it quite well. Now, yeah, I was a bit struggling with my physical form rather than with mapping. And as you can see, I have found the control pretty easily. To control number 2, obviously, first thing first, you need to get out of this young forest or area, and then get back to the road. And from there I took a bearing and basically ran almost straight to control number 2. Here the forest was very well runnable, couple of branches here and there, but nothing really difficult. You can see it's like a forest desert full of like conifer leaves, which is these tiny needles. Not much green stuff here, so very good runnable, very well runnable forest. Now we got to the more open area with more light, so we see some grass and some blueberries that obviously it's much harder to run through, and my legs were really feeling kind of stiff. So I knew that I'm at this vegetation boundary and I just need to follow it and kind of enter at some, and I was looking for some lighter, more open forest, and the control was visible, so this was easy. To control number 3, I don't remember exactly what was my plan, but as you can see, I got influenced by this boy and I started following him. For some reason, I didn't want to go uphill. Here on my left side, I could see the fenced area, but I don't know why I didn't really follow this direction around it and to the left along the road. Maybe I was afraid of the greenish stuff, although I could pass it through the roads. And instead, I saw in front of me here this clearing, so I decided to go around that clearing and then up around this green forest, this thicker forest. So I'm not sure if this was a good or bad idea, but honestly, I don't see anything really bad about it. Kind of worked. And then obviously I'm trying to follow the vegetation boundary on my right side, Now I'm getting close to the fence area, so everything fits nicely. The only problem here was my legs. They felt tired. And although this wasn't anywhere near climbing some kind of slope, I had to push it, like it was a little bit uphill, and I had to really focus my mind, persuading my body to run. And obviously here I was a little bit mapping and navigating. Now I'm probably walking. Is that even a run? I don't know. So I noticed this first knoll, this first kind of erosion. Here I started looking for the second one, and now I saw it. So again, quite clear. Here again, the only issue was to get around the branches, These young forests are not fun, but that belongs to the orienteering, so everyone has to cope with it somehow. To control number 4, I think I just took a bearing and ran almost straight. I remember that I didn't really nail it properly, so I was a little bit off to control number 4, but it wasn't. I think it wasn't a big loss here. It was fairly good. You can speed it up or just skip it a little bit, but I'm not going to speed up this video because it should be fairly short. So when I stop talking, just hit the right arrow to move it a little bit, and that's it. So as you can see, I found the first ditch. The control was not there, so I decided to, look a little bit downhill. I saw somebody approaching the control, so it was obvious that it will be there. Now to the 5th control, that was basically straight down, so I just took my bearing and went straight down and hit that control fairly precisely. At this point I think I could see the control already. Yeah, so it was fairly easy. Now to control number 6. Again, basically I took a bearing and I knew that I have to cross the road, not the road, the path. And these kind of structures, not structures, but boulders, not boulders, but big knolls or bigger mountains, or, you know, I don't know what they were doing here. They were just probably looking for new mine and digging up holes. So they were fairly visible, so it was easy. The only mistake I did was, like, I don't know why I climbed up here, because from the map it was fairly visible that the control will be behind in this some kind of curvature of this structure, man-made mountain. It's not a mountain. Anyways, again, same thing to number 7. Basically, just running straight according to the bearing, counting roads, and then behind these structures you can see that there is this small young forest, or, you know, vegetation, this hedged area. So that's where I was heading, you know. I was looking ahead and trying to pinpoint this kind of area in the forest in front of me. Basically here I saw it in front of me, so I was heading that way. There was already a path. I don't know if it was made by other runners previously. Looks like it, but now it looked like some kind of other track, maybe done by people or just animals, because it's following down, you know, to my left. But I found the control right behind it. This young girl needed some advice, and so I showed her where she is, and then I got lost in this vegetation. Also, I think I kind of misunderstood or misread the map. When I got to this erosion, I probably thought that I'm in the first one, and I thought that I'm in this erosion gully, or this small erosion, but it was actually the beginning of the path, and I didn't recognize it. So I thought I must go, that the path is more to the left, so I continued to the left, and then I think I sort of got lost in this forest. You know, here I'm following some boundary, but it's not very clearly visible for me, this boundary. And basically what stopped me was this part in front of me, because it reminded me of control number 1, which is just right in front of me, and I was like, no, so I must be, this is wrong, I have to go up or somewhere else. It's not where the control is. That's not where the path is actually. So yeah, now I'm finally headed to control number 8. I guess some people that were headed to control number 8 helped me, so that's yeah, here is the girl again. Here is someone else getting to my control. So yeah, I think I lost like a minute and a half here, but you know, I was glad that I didn't get completely lost. Now to control number 9. Basically, I took a bearing and went straight, because I could see it, you know, like the first is wide open, and there was not much to think about. I was just checking these man-made structures on my right side. Then, you know, here begins this narrow right or junction with that. So again, I like used that as my orientation points and just followed the bearing here. I remember that at this part I was like, my legs are not running, what is happening? So I was really tired after the first day. And here, you know, I was also checking my right side for the fenced area, and this guy in front of me, apparently at this point it looked like he's running the same category as I do, so I sort of followed him as well, to be honest. Yeah, here to from 9 to number 10 again. I kind of took the bearing, but I saw the guy, which way he is headed, so I sort of headed the same way. Obviously, I wanted to get to the edge of the clearing, and then there is this green stripe of some young forest, so that was also sort of my aim. And from that I wanted to go to control number, like the control number 10 is behind some greenish area again, so I wanted to go follow the bearing. I took a bearing and followed the bearing to that area. So here I'm trying just to avoid this man-made molds or whatever it is. Again, I could see the guy in front of me, and because the forest was open, I could see the greenish area, so I was aiming for that young forest there. And so you can hit the right arrow and skip it a little bit. Now, obviously, this was a tricky area with a lot of blueberries, and it was not very readable, you know, where could be which ditch is mine. But, you know, I was holding my bearing pretty well, so I found the control. And I didn't get lost, fortunately. Number 11, again, I would say this was fairly easy, because you have this you have this path and you have this fence, so you just follow these markers or these orientation points, and then yeah, the control was somewhere around this greenish area at the edge of this man-made structure, man-made ditch, let's say. So again, this was easy. I found the control pretty easily. To control number 12, well, there were two possibilities how to get there. So either you would go to the left or to the right. For some reason, I didn't consider going to the right around this forest, in front of me. I decided to go along this bigger road. Probably it was faster to go to the left. It was more straightforward, it seems to me. But I was pretty fast on this track, and I reached number 12 easily. Well, I guess they did this, or they put this control here just to like a control point before the road, because they wanted everyone to pass the road at this point, let's say. So I think everyone, or almost everyone, must have had this control, at least the, you know, like older category, all older categories. As you can see, to number 13, again, this was fairly easy. You have these fenced areas around, so you just follow them. And then it was this small erosion gully, let's say. But again, everyone had this control probably, so a lot of people were headed that way. I could just follow them. Here I'm just trying to, you know, pinpoint some place where I could cross these branches. Control number 14, well, again, it's very close to control 13, so fairly easy. To be honest, I didn't really nailed it. I went a little bit too much to the left, so I ended up in that greenish area. Not sure why. Like here, when I'm looking at the video, it seems pretty obvious that that boundary, you know, you can see that one part of the forest is higher and the other part is lower, so I'm not really sure why I entered this not lower, smaller forest. Yeah, who knows. But obviously I try to get out of it and try to find the edge of the boundary, vegetation boundaries, and there was the control, so it wasn't that difficult. I probably lost a couple of seconds, but not that much. Now control 15 was tricky because it was hidden in this young forest. But to get there, it was easy, right? So you run in this stripe of white forest or runnable forest. You get to this small stream. You cross it. Then there is another path. So I think that was like to get to control 15 or to get close to it, that was easy part. To find it in that forest, that was another story, you know. So let's keep it there. So first here I was looking to my left to check that I can see that knoll, and then I saw some paths by people, so I kind of followed them, and you know, I was going around and around, you know, and there were other people lost, so it was funny. And I simply asked, that you can see those other people, so I asked, is there the control? Obviously they told me yes, so I was, let's say, fortunate that I got to the control when there were other people, and I didn't lost a lot of time searching. Now to control number 16. Fairly easy because it was, let's say, some kind of end of a valley. So first I got to that road, then I followed the road, and somewhere around the edge or around the corner of the road, I entered the forest and went for control 16. So I will skip it now a little bit. As you saw, no issues there. I was pretty precise, got to the control, and basically same story to control 17. Well, since the forest is pretty runnable, open, it was easy to get to the control, so I just followed the bearing, let's say, and I don't have anything else to say about it. So to control number 18, that was number 18 was a little bit tricky because it's this kind of erosion or kind of valley or small valley, let's say, but it's behind this or inside this young forest, inside this thicker vegetation. So that was a clear like guidance, or I went a lot around this vegetation boundary, and soon after I found this erosion where the control was. So this was easy, not particularly difficult to find. Number 19, I think that one was a little bit more tricky because it's, there is this hatched area which is a clearing, and then there is this vegetation boundary with some trees around, so it was hidden behind those trees. So that wasn't, you had to be precise and nailed it, let's say. Of course I used the fenced area as a kind of an anchor point, but at the same time the control is not really visible, so I had the sense that it will be a little bit to the left from the fence. I went there, but obviously didn't saw the control, so from that point of view, it was a little bit tricky. And well, there were other people looking for that control, I guess, but it wasn't difficult. I mean, I found it right behind these trees somewhere, although, you know, I'm going slow and looking around just not to miss it. But here it is somewhere. Yeah, here. So, yes, I could have been faster here. And here comes my second mistake. Well, not yet. There were, I guess, couple possibilities how to get to control 20. One of them was to get back to that fenced area and try to get to that smaller path and then to the bigger path and come to the control 20 from, let's say, right side. I decided to go from the left side, but what I missed or didn't realize here, what confused me is this like a clearing, but it was to me it looked like path. I don't know why they didn't put a path here, you know. So I probably didn't read the map properly. Then I stopped and I didn't want to go into this like edge or uphill, you know, and those trees. And then I said, okay, you went too far, go around and go back again. So here I lost again probably a minute, and you know, here I don't know why I went up here. It doesn't make sense to me. I should have followed the path. This is like I did cut it, but like not by much. So at the end this was useless, this kind of a cut. And yeah, so here I think I did a mistake. You can see this guy overtook me because he did chose a better path. And he was with me at control number 18 and I was still faster. I guess I was even faster to control number 19, but then from 19 to 20 I did wrong route choice and he overtook me. So yes, not the greatest decision. Anyways, my performance was much better than the day before. I was satisfied with myself. I must say that it seemed easier to navigate on this course, and I was physically tired, but after all I was quite happy with my performance. So it was a good day, and yeah, see you next time, and have fun orienteering. Bye.